There is not even anybody in here, but I don't even care. This is bananas. We did it. We broke through 10,000, and I mean, way through 10,000. This is and then right after that, right after 10,000, Ethereum broke 300. So this is absolutely bananas. But I like it. I dig it. Thanks for coming in here, a couple folks. I don't know who you are, but say something in the chat. Let me know. This is kind of neat. I just wanted to. I don't have any agenda or anything like that. No plan. I'm just kind of winging it. Don't have anything to really talk about much other than, I mean, good grief, this is crazy, but you know, I like it. I hope you guys are too. And yeah, everything is looking pretty good. Even LTC, Litecoin kind of was lagging there a little bit. They were only at like 1% a couple hours ago. Now they're deciding to join the party, I guess. What's up, Crypto Sweeper? So it looks like Litecoin might do well as well. So that's cool. But pretty much the only thing I kind of had thought about doing was maybe like go over some of the. I kind of have a list. You know, it's really hard. I've talked about this before. It's really hard mining, and it's really hard to keep up with so many different projects. I mean, I watched a video. I saw a video of this guy. Actually, I was watching it because I was looking at QT wallets, and I just happened to run across, you know, a video from 2014 where somebody was showing some details about a Bitcoin wallet way back then, right? A Bitcoin QT wallet, desktop wallet, and it never showed how much Bitcoin he had in the wallet because it wasn't synced yet, but he did go to like CoinMarketCap. I think it was CoinMarketCap that he went to, and he was just showing what was out there right then. I mean, I don't know how many projects there were back then. That was way before I got into it. But I mean, right now we're on CoinMarketCap alone, which doesn't even count everything. We are at 2,281, and CoinGecko, which captures a larger portion of what's out there, has almost 5,000. So, I mean, it's really hard to keep up with that many projects, right? And typically you wouldn't anyway, because a lot, you know, the majority of those are bad, shit coins or whatever. But it's just tough. So I told myself a while back, I was like, you know what, I've got to just take some time and compile like a list of some of my most popular ones, my favorite ones. And that's kind of what I did. And I figured maybe we could just go over that list and I could show you what I think about them. Maybe go to their website and check it out real quick. That was kind of my plan. I don't know. You know, like I said, there was no plan. This is just me just yapping, and I think maybe we can do that. Normally, well, before we do that though, before we get into that, I could show you guys what I'm mining. That would make sense. I actually got this rig fired back up. Just switched over. Now this rig right here is actually off now, the NVIDIA rig, and I have the AMD rig here at the house up and running, and that one is mining CCX, but for some reason it doesn't show. After a while, the display here just goes away. I don't know if it's something I'm doing or if it's just something with the miner or what, but it just goes away, and it kind of gives you the feeling, you know, with the little down arrow, low hash rate and all that stuff, that it's not working. But if you get into it, you can see it right there on the screen. It's actually, I mean, it's kind of small. Here, let me show you this. So you can see that hopefully it's not too blurry, but you can see that it is mining and submitting shares to the pool and all that stuff. So it's good to go. It is working, and you can go out and check the hash rate on the pool and all that stuff, and it's fine. I don't know why Hive OS just doesn't show it right here like normal. So I could probably restart it real quick and show you guys, but I'll just reboot it. and that way you can kind of see it. But so the NVIDIA rig's off, the AMD rig is on, just rebooted. And then as far as the co-owned rigs, if you guys aren't familiar, these two rigs here are not owned completely by me. They actually, wait a minute, let me get back to the desktop. These two rigs here are not owned by me alone. There's other owners involved here, and we've been mining Conceal CCX for a really long time, well, several months. And we actually, today and yesterday were the days that we were supposed to talk about if we were going to switch it over to something else, and we did talk about it, and pretty much everybody's unanimous to just keep it on CCX. So that's what we're going to do, and hopefully CCX takes off. Hopefully alt season hits them pretty hard. You know, I'm super curious. I'm just keeping an eye on this over here. Man, we just smashed right through 10,000, didn't we? Good grief. That's insane. Okay. Good to see it. So anyway, these rigs are mining CCX, and they have been for quite some time. All right, and I don't know what else I can show you guys. I mean, we always go to, you know, look at, well, sometimes we'll look at Coin Farm, and right now, lots of buys out there. No strong buys, which is kind of weird. But you can see right here the dominance of longs is a lot. 52% dominance is pretty huge. I kind of expect this to go up quite a bit actually, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. It's going crazy. Buy orders. Yeah, wow. Nuts. Cool stuff. But this just gives you an idea of what's going on in the market, you know, what kind of orders are being placed and things like that. So kind of neat. It's a good little gauge. All right, so let me pull up, let me turn my cameras off so I'm not in the way here. And I will go ahead and, I've got like a little PowerPoint actually. I'm not going to kill you with PowerPoint, it's just one slide. But I've got, actually, you know what, I need to make sure that you guys can see that. Hang on just a second. All right, so it is up. All right, so that's cool. You guys can see it. That's neat. All right, so this is just projects specifically. Now remember, you know, I'm a miner, so I specifically am just talking about mining projects. Obviously, there are other projects out there, tokens and things like that, that, you know, are also good investments or whatever. This is not investment or any type of advice at all. I'm just some dude on the internet, so I mean, it's not financial advice at all. Or mining, I don't care what you guys mine. I'm just showing you what my top 10 are, right? And yeah, so it's only this list is only proof of work, CPU, GPU mineable projects that I'm interested in. And if you've been watching the channel for a while, you probably know what the list is. Or if you follow me on Twitter, you probably know what the list is. But I figured that we could just cover it and go over some stuff. Maybe fire up their website, you know, each project's website, and kind of take a quick look at it. So to no one's surprise, the first one shouldn't surprise anyone. That's what I should say. Should not surprise anyone. If I could get this thing back up and running. Here we go. Why is it not? Give me just a second. All right, so the first one is Aeon, and it's basically a Web 3.0 blockchain interoperability. That's their main focus. Well, one of their main focuses is interoperability. We've talked about that quite a bit. I've done videos on Aeon in the past, quite a few of them. I did one really long, how to mine it. I've done some shorter how to mine Aeon videos, so check those out on my channel if you're interested in Aeon. As far as performance, I don't know what they're doing today. Actually, you know what? that's what we should do. We should go and let me go through the list real quick so we can kind of see what's going on with them right now before we get started on the list. All right, let's go over to CoinMarketCap, do a quick refresh. Ethereum's up 10%, awesome. All right, so let's look at Aeon. And this is going to kind of give away the list, but there'll be a little bit more information on there. So they've been kind of going down here lately, not performing too well. Hoping, obviously there's a lot of hope here, but hopefully they'll get hit with alt season really well. And yeah, this is not going to work out real well because I don't want to really give the list away, but I guess it doesn't matter because I'm not really going to talk about each one right now. So Ravencoin, and that is at 6 cents. Swap is just, it's funny to watch all these alts, they're just kind of like moving completely sideways while BTC and Ethereum are blasting off. I know Ethereum's an alt too, but wow, BTC dominance is up to 58%. $316 billion market cap. Wow, looking pretty good. All right, what was the next one? That was Swap and Zelle Cash. Up just a tad. I'll try to remember these as I go through it, but CCX is up just a little bit, and this is the one that we've been mining for a while. We've got a little bit of a bag of CCX, so hopefully that does well soon also. Then you got Veil, up just a tad. I like privacy coins, clearly. Loki's doing really well today, up 10% almost, about 9%. They've been getting hammered a lot though. Nimic's up 5.6%. EtherGem. They're looking good, up 15%. I need to look more into them. I don't know a whole lot about that project, so I did do a couple videos on it, but I really need to get into it a little bit more. And Bitcash is, 2% in crypto is kind of sideways, so I'm not too worried about that. All right, let me get back to the slideshow. All right, so we already talked about Aeon a little bit, but you know that Aeon is at the top of my list. And actually, come to think of it, this list isn't really in any kind of order. It was more or less how they came to my mind as I was writing it. So Aeon, again, I've got a lot of videos about them. Web 3.0 blockchain interoperability is what they're looking at. And they just released the Aeon virtual machine, the AVM, which is a Java-based dApps platform, or it's actually not just apps, I guess, but it's a platform that gave access to all of the Java developers in the whole world to start developing on Aeon after they release that virtual machine. So that's common language, so that they already know how to program it. So it's kind of like a done deal. So that is pretty cool. The next one of my favorites, is Ravencoin, and it deals with asset and token management, messaging. Eventually they'll have messaging, eventually they'll have voting, and eventually they'll have rewards. They don't have those yet, and they're actually looking at, I don't know if they added it to the white paper or if I just overlooked it, but they actually have some effort put in for some type of privacy as well. So that is super cool. Ravencoin's one of my longtime favorite projects for sure. But basically they deal with the creation, the transfer, and management of tokens. Basically tokenizing anything, whether it's something like digital art or an actual physical object, through some type of serial number linking or whatever. You can basically identify. You can make a token for anything. Is basically the way to look at it, and it makes transferring them simple and all that stuff. So, and I say token and asset I think it's even in their white paper that they talk about those two terms are actually interchangeable in their white paper. Asset and token, it kind of means the same thing on the Ravencoin network. I like to use asset more than token though. I think it better describes what it is. And the next one, I already did the price of it, but is Swap. They are all about privacy and no BS and no scams. I just get a kick out of that project because they are so vocal about scams and things like that and what they perceive as being scammy, and they back it up with a lot of good data, and they also create things that prove that they aren't scams. And what I'm referring to specifically is the micropool. So the developer, Seb Green, is that his name? Golly, I'm gonna forget his name. I think it's Seb Green. I think that's right. He developed the micropool, and it is basically a pool that you can run on your local area network and leave out having to connect to a public pool out there on the internet, right? So you are literally connected to your local micropool, your local pool on your local area network, or you could be. So you're not getting hit with, hash rate skimming or any of that kind of stuff. It is literally you mining to your own pool. So it is really cool. So it's basically solo mining to your own pool. And so they're all about privacy. They use the CryptoNote protocol for the transactions, and they use Cuckoo Cycle for the hashing. So that it's two peer-reviewed, peer-approved technologies there that they use, and it's just a great project. I don't know, and it's all again all about privacy and all that stuff. So, and I like privacy. The next one is Zelle, and they have an opt-in privacy. They're currently developing Zelle Hash, and that's going to be an Equihash, a version of Equihash. I don't know if they've actually moved to that yet. I checked right before the show, but it seemed like the pools were still on 1445. So I think that's coming fairly soon. I don't know what the actual timeline is on that. And then the Zelle Cash itself, the coin, powers the whole ecosystem. They have a lot. They have a great wallet, Zelle Core wallet. They have Zelle nodes. They have a lot going on in that project I can see them doing really well. And they were up, I think they were up a little bit today, right? If I remember right. So that's just another project that I like. And it's GPU mineable. And then we've already talked about Conceal Network, CCX. They're all about privacy, and then not online banking, but banking, and then messaging. Those are their features. They kind of have this feature on their network of cold staking coins, and you can lock them up for, if you're doing the banking, the deposits option, then that is 1 CCX minimum, if I'm not mistaken, up to, I don't know if is there a limit? I don't remember the limit, if there was one, but you can stake for up to a year, 12 months, I believe. And that can earn you basically, I think it's like 4.16% or something like that. Don't quote me on these numbers. I'm just kind of doing this from memory, but they do have that feature. So you lock the coins up, and it's locked in the wallet. Basically, you do all of this from the wallet. Plus, they have a cloud wallet as well, or a concealed cloud. And all these features eventually will be into the cloud wallet as well. But they so you lock up the coins in banking. Like I said, I think that's up to 12 months, and I think there's a 1 CCX minimum, and then there's another feature, the investments feature, which I think is 50,000 CCX, if I'm not mistaken, and that's a minimum. And I think you can go up to 5 years on that one. I might have those backwards. I don't know. We'll probably look at that in a minute, just to see. But yeah, so you can stake up to 50,000, or that's actually the minimum, 50,000 CCX. So yeah, and it just draws interest, and that interest is in the form of CCX. So it's neat. It's just another project that I looked at one time, and I was like, I investigated a little bit, and I got into it, and I'm like, yeah, this is neat stuff. So that's why it is on my list. The next one is Veil. They have an always-on privacy, and they focus a lot on the user experience, which you can't go against that in the efforts to onboard people, right? So if they make it easy. I don't know a whole lot about Veil. I mined it early on. I need to look into it a little bit more, but it is on my list probably because it's forcing me to look at it a little bit more. So there you go. And the next one is Loki, longtime favorite project here. They're all about privacy. Do you see a theme here? I mean, most of these coins are about privacy, right? Loki is privacy. They have Loki Net, which is going to be, I think it's in alpha stage right now, and that is going to be like a VPN and using like onion routing or something like that. And that is, again, I don't think that that's all the way up and running. I think it's in like an alpha stage. I messed around with it a little bit. I had errors in the LokiNet, couldn't connect and things like that. But it tells you right up front, like, look, this is like alpha, and it's probably not going to work. The binaries don't always work. It's further testing and all that stuff. It's in development, but whenever that is released, that's going to be cool. They also have service nodes, and they are incentivized service nodes, so people will run them to earn Loki. And then on those service nodes, you can build service node apps, their version of dApps, and so it's a platform for snaps as well. So if you think about Loki, it is definitely a privacy coin, and they were launched at a time when governments were censoring. Not that they have stopped. I'm just saying that was kind of like the catalyst for them to go into development for something that they believe in. So that is a good project as well when it comes to privacy. Next is Nimic, or NIM, and this one is super cool. I like this kind of stuff because it is a browser-based blockchain interface. So that is how you interact with the blockchain directly, is through your browser. And there's a lot of other features, and I'll probably bring up their website so I can kind of go over it real quick. I have done videos on them, so check them out as well. I've done videos on Loki. I think I did a video on Veil. All these other ones I've done many videos on. So if you're interested in any of this stuff, definitely check out those videos, because there's quite a few of them. I kind of stick to this core 10 projects, as doing videos. There are a lot of other videos. If you look at the Random Coin Mining show that I was doing, up until recently, there's a lot of coins, and I am in no way supporting, all those projects. There are a lot that are just garbage, and that's where it's kind of pushing me in this direction of highlighting the ones that I think are good projects, right? So we went through many months of every night doing a different coin, and that's how we ended up here, basically, is because it was like so brutal to just keep going over nonsense projects, or copy and paste projects and stuff. So that's how we ended up here. But Nimic has another function, or another focus of onboarding people. They have a lot of really cool ways of making things easier to get people into crypto. So that's another user experience kind of project as well. They've been around a while too. And then the next is EtherGem. And EtherGem is a new one that I just started looking at recently. I don't know a whole lot about it. It does run on Ethereum. It is a community project. And I do know that they have, I don't know if it's all the way running just yet, but they have a Sapphire DEX that is actually I think they would consider it a side chain that runs along with EtherGem and talks back and forth with EtherGem. You can actually mine them both at the same time. And maybe we'll go to their website and check that out as well, because I don't know that much about it again. I did a video on it a couple weeks back, and right after that, they were listed on what to mine. So I think one of the devs like tweeted about it and was like, hey, right after you did that video, we got listed on what to mine. So that was kind of neat. Glad I could help, even though I didn't do anything. Just did a video. And then the next one is Bitcash, BITC. They are huge with basically the easiest way to look at Bitcash, and they've been around a while too, is that they want to make all the functions of a normal bank, records, names, using account names, statements, accounting, and all those features of a bank as easy to use. Not that a bank's easy to use, but you understand what I'm saying. They want to basically create crypto for those functions specifically, and I'll go to their website too and show you that. But they are huge with onboarding because they make things really easy. You can send Bitcash to someone that doesn't even have Bitcash. Now that means that they have to get the wallet in order to actually retrieve them, but you can spark interest that way. And I've actually done it on the show several times. I think I sent some Bitcash to Brandon Coin one time. I don't know if he ever got it. I mean, I know that he got the tweet, but I don't know if he ever got the actual Bitcash. But I sent it through him. I sent it to him through Twitter, and then they're enabling all these other ways of doing it. I think you can do it through email and Twitch and all kinds of different ways of doing it. So, so that is my top 10 right now. Subject to change, obviously. And again, this is not like, hey, you should mine this stuff. This is just stuff that I'm interested in, which is what I like to cover. So let me check the chat, see if you guys are still awake after my I'm killing you with PowerPoint, death by PowerPoint. So let's see, what are we looking at here? What up, y'all? What's up, Charlie Key? YouTube watcher, what's going on, man? Loki was killing it. Yeah, I think they were up like 15%, right? Okay, drop back down a little bit. Yeah, they're doing pretty well. As far as their chart, I mean, their chart's not great, but I think their all-time high was 84 cents, maybe. So, this is one of those projects that you look at and you go, okay, I mean, I get it. If this project stays on track, keeps developing, there's a good chance that, hopefully we would see an all-time high at some point, right? That would be freaking awesome from where we're at right now. And the same thing for CCX. I don't know what their all-time high was, though. Let's find out. Yeah, they've been kind of just cruising around the same area, basically. Looks like they might have had a 30-cent all-time high. There's a spike right here, but I don't know how